I've been looking at Twitter all day. You know what I'm saying? Been looking at film, been analyzing the national championship game coming up. And I just been going through Twitter and going through Twitter. And I'm really proud of my content creator brothers and sisters, my brothers and sisters on Twitter for the hashtag. I don't know who came up with it, no Kellen Moore. I haven't seen anybody really pushing it more than Law Nation. And I think that we're allowing our voice to be heard. And I like it for our fan base. I like it a lot, guys. So, first and foremost, keep that up, man. Keep our voice being heard because I'll be one to tell you straight up. I think that the more that we allow our voices to be heard, the more we put it out there. Like, it's going to be a national topic, no Kellen Moore, because the fan base is continuing to talk about it. We're putting out. So when you look at the hashtag no Kellen Moore, you're starting to see all of the things that we don't want to forget. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still so fresh in our minds. The things that happened under Kellen Moore, even though it was 2 years ago, I know for a fact that I for sure have PTSD when it comes to him calling plays or lack there calling plays or lack of adjusting or a whole bunch of stop routes and stuff like that. Tuck did a video a couple years ago about the no identity offense, and it's kind of resurfacing a lot of the same things that Eagles fans are complaining about right now. The difference is right now with him in Philly, Kellen Moore has a generational player, a generational athlete in Saquon Barkley, who's performing at his highest level and is bailing them out of a lot of situations. Outside of that, you got guys like AJ Brown, Devontae Smith being phased out of games, and they're frustrated. You know, AJ Brown has made it a point to say that he reads a book on the sideline of every game, but it was never pointed out until last week. Why is that? Why is that? And I get it though. AJ Brown is very easy to make the bad guy. Very easy to make the bad guy. But I can't help but look at AJ Brown's situation right now. And I know this ain't a Philadelphia Eagles channel, but I promise I'll come home with it. I can't help but notice that a lot of what's happening with AJ Brown, it looks a lot like what was happening with Amari Cooper. Also, hit that like button if you if and say hello if you're you're watching right now. I only got a couple of minutes, but I felt like I just wanted to talk this through. It's something that I wanted to vent. I guess I can't get none of my buddies on the phone. I know landlord is going live and stuff right now, and you know, but I can't help but look and see once again a wide receiver villainized in the Kellen Moore offense. What's up, Tyrone? Once again, another receiver villainized in the Kellen Moore offense, and then we're looking at a top 12 pick, which more than likely is looking at a receiver. There'll be a plethora of receivers that we can pick right there. And then you got CeeDee Lamb, who are paying a lot of money, and then Dak Prescott making a lot of money. So we're gonna throw the ball, and you're gonna throw the ball to a whole bunch of disgruntled receivers. Not to mention, um, I guess I'm more of a fan of Kellen running the ball this year, but again, you're inheriting the best line in football. You're inheriting the best running back in football. I mean, how much of adjusting do you have to do when you have those things in your favor? I just think that we can't have revisionist history. I'm watching guys like Danny Phantom on Twitter cape for the organization, and all of a sudden everything is Mike McCarthy's fault. Everything that we hated Kellen for is all of a sudden Mike McCarthy's fault. Not buying it, y'all. I'm not buying it. Law Nation posted a clip of Amari Cooper saying how he was frustrated with another stop route and how he begged Dak, for him to go deep. And Dak said no. And then Dak checked to it. And then we scored a touchdown. And that ended up being a deciding factor against the Eagles. And Amari Cooper talked about it. I guess Amari wasn't supposed to talk about it because, eventually Amari became, public enemy number one in that locker room. It's not a wide receiver friendly. He's not a wide receiver friendly coordinator. And even when he had Amari gone, what I'm saying, we were throwing the ball to guys like Noah Brown, and they were dropping the ball into interceptions and stuff. And I just want you guys to remember what it was like when Kellen Moore was calling plays. Kellen Moore was calling plays when we had a lot of talent. A lot of talent. Kellen Moore was calling plays. And it always seemed like when we ran into certain defensive schemes, nightmares. Like, think about this, right? The one guy that could shut us down is Vic Fangio. He is now on the Eagles as their defensive coordinator. That's somebody that we'd have to see 2 times a year that has our number, that has Kellen's number, that now is right next to Kellen and definitely understands how he calls plays and how he likes to structure things. So that's not a winning situation for us, guys. I just can't see it. My guy Tyrone said Mike is the third best head coach we ever had. I'd agree with that. I'd agree with that. You gotta put Landry and Jimmy, and then yeah, yeah. I'd say that. You're right. You're right. Even though Switzer won that title, nobody would really consider Switzer. You probably wouldn't even put Switzer in. You might put him in the top five, maybe. You might put him in the top five, maybe. But I could argue Jason Garrett was a better head coach than Barry Switzer was. So I'm with you on that. But I think that it was Boss Cowboy that said this. We have to look at how many Cowboys legends are even saying no to Kellen Moore. And you guys got to remember, a lot of these Cowboys legends were teammates of Jason Garrett. And Kellen Moore is a disciple of Jason Garrett. Like, he's going to always be tied to Jason Garrett. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. I'm just not with it. I'm not with it. With all of this talent out there, I think that the way that I look at it, my top three are Aaron Glenn, Ben Johnson, and Prime. Those are my top three right now, for what I want. Like, I was more happy hearing about Prime than I was definitely about hearing Kellen Moore. With Kellen Moore, I would have rather brought Mike back personally if this is what it is. And for what is being reported, I can't remember who reported it, but it's being reported that the Cowboys didn't expect Mike McCarthy to just walk. And, if I ain't have to hold this phone up, I would clap, because that only confirms what we kind of knew. A lot of times, us fans, we're a lot smarter than they give us credit for. We're able to see things from our couch. We get clowned for being at home, being in the couch, being in the car like I am right now, waiting on my son to get out of karate. We get clowned for not knowing things and being at home and being couch coaches and all that type of stuff, only to hear the stuff that we knew happened. You know what I'm saying? Only the things that we insinuated, to find out that the things we insinuated happened. I just find it funny, bro. And what that lets me know is that we really got some imbeciles running things right now. Like, I mean, it's to the point now where you're predictable and everybody can predict what you're going to do. Guess what? We knew y'all was going to run back to Kellen. We knew that. You know what I'm saying? Like, now Prime, that caught me off guard. I ain't going to lie to you. But yeah, we knew y'all was going to run back to Kellen, bro. Because we know that y'all didn't want Kellen to go in the first place. Ty Church says, mine's Prime, Robert Sala, and Aaron Glenn. I'm okay with that. I don't really trust Robert Sala as a head coach right now, but I don't know. The thing that I don't know is I can't really trust Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers might have really messed things up over there, and so, maybe he went in that interview room and probably wowed their socks off. He's probably a better candidate for a head coaching job than Kellen Moore. I think we could probably all agree to that because at least he, number one, he's had head coaching experience. Number two, what I'm saying, he's had some real good success in the league. So I think Kellen, numbers wise, you'll look at the success, and I think that they'll probably move on to the NFC Championship game, and people will point into that. But I think that it's more about what's around him and what was already built as to why they'd be going to the NFC Championship game. It's not so much me hating, what I'm saying, because Kellen was a Cowboy and things were messed up over here. And maybe he couldn't grow the way that he needed to grow over here. I still think Kellen has some growing to do. And I'm not saying Kellen won't be a head coach, but we have to keep in mind Kellen has interviewed other places and they didn't want him. And keep in mind, we're the only team, I think, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, we're the only team that I believe that requested to interview Kellen. This is a guy that was a hot head coaching candidate for a couple years, left us, went to Philly, is with Philly, who's one of the best football teams in the league, and nobody is requesting to interview him besides us. That should let you know what it is off rip for our organization. Oh man, Tyrone said Kellen is a piece of S and the players don't F with him. Yeah, it's the truth. I knew that before y'all knew it. There are certain things that I hear that I can't put out because of who my sources are, and what I'm saying, we don't want, because if things get out, then you'll know who said it. But yeah, I knew that about Kellen. When Kellen was still in Dallas, I knew that about him. So when he left, I was like, good riddance. Short Dog said Dak and CD better season was with Big Mike calling plays. Yeah. And I would like to see somebody. I mean, I'm more leaning towards wanting a defensive coach. That way, we get to doing the things that we need to do. Defensive coaches don't have egos. So a defensive coach will say, why aren't we getting CD the ball? Why aren't we running the ball here? Why aren't we doing these things? Like, this is what would give us trouble if I had to, scout against our team. Why aren't we doing these things? With defensive coaches, you deal with less ego. And I think it was you, Tyrone, that said it in a group setting. Offensive line coach, what I'm saying? An offensive line guy as a head coach or a defensive guy. I totally agree with that. Totally agree with that. Now, why I like Ben Johnson, the reason I like Ben Johnson is Ben Johnson, no matter what, and even though they have the tools up front and they have the running backs, they also have receivers, they have weapons. But Ben always makes sure he's establishing the run. They're always adapting. The run is very important to the things that they do. So, and I like the innovative things he does in the run game where he takes basic concepts and he'll dress it up, and it's all about execution. So I really like that about Ben. What I like about Prime, even though Prime, I don't know what Prime is considered now. I think he's more of a head coach. But I think Prime will bring in the staff, and I think that the staff would be amazing. I think there will be pro staff players. You might get some ex-players here and there. And I think that they would, the players would identify with them, and I think that he can teach them accountability at the big stage. And he's going to care enough to do so. Okay, somebody said a Kellen interview with the Jags, 2 more today. Was it him? Okay. All right. Bet that. So I was wrong about that. I'll take that. Cool. I still don't want Kellen. I still don't want Kellen. Because, you look at it, Mike McCarthy's also a hot candidate too, but I don't think that he's going to go to a whole bunch of different places because there's too specific places that really want him right now. And so I think that it's like, let's cut to the chase. Let's go to these places where, I could be a really, really good fit. And I think Chicago will be excellent. It would look excellent on Mike McCarthy. Ken Wright said, DMV, does Jerry really want a Super Bowl? I think he wants a Super Bowl, but I don't think that he would take a Super Bowl over continuing to make the type of money that he was making without winning the Super Bowl, if that makes sense. He didn't have to win the Super Bowl to get, so when he was winning Super Bowls, he wasn't getting paid as much as he's getting paid right now. So I think that money can get in the way of those things. That's why I don't think he should be GM, because a GM's job is to keep that team competitive and to keep winning and to win Super Bowls. That's why I don't think you can intertwine a GM and the owner. And I think he will tell you he's been able to do so, but I think that it was a different time. And also, I mean, the team was built off of somebody else. It was built off of somebody else's back, bro. Like, nothing he's done as a GM by himself really has led this team to a championship in a very long time. I mean, we haven't even gotten to our conference championship. So that should tell you. Let's see, somebody else said something. Paul Rodriguez said Leslie Frazier. Yeah, that was a joke. The Cowboys interviewing Leslie Frazier. Maybe they're just trying to interview coaches. So here's the thing about Mike McCarthy leaving. It surprised them because they were expecting him to come back and they were comfortable with how things are. Maybe they're interviewing people right now. And hear me out when I say this, right? And I'm not against the Kellen interview. I just don't want him. But I'm not against the Kellen Moore interview. The reason is, you've had Mike, right? And you like what you like, the thing, the things that you liked in which Mike offered you as a head coach, but the things that he didn't offer, right? So you got to go out there and date a few people in order to figure out what it is that you want, because you're going to have a head coach. It's not like finding a spouse. You know what I'm saying? You could be by yourself in the world. You don't need a spouse, but you need somebody to coach your team. So you got to go on a couple dates. And sometimes you got to go on dates with people that you don't got a shot. You know they don't got a shot, but you got to know what it is that you want. And maybe that's what it is right there. Maybe they're going into this open-minded. Maybe somebody out there, they're thinking, okay, I want my socks to be wild off here. And maybe that's what they're thinking when they're interviewing some of these guys. Some of these guys that are available, because you got to keep in mind too, there are some coaches out there in playoff schedules that are very, very busy. Like if you look at Kellen, they couldn't interview him in person. That had to be over Zoom. Maybe they don't want a whole bunch of Zoom interviews. Maybe they want in-person interviews, and maybe they want those in-person interviews with the right timing. So James Ruff said, I'm against the Kellen Moore interview. But yeah, I mean, if I was able to break it down and that make a little bit more sense, I mean, because they weren't expecting it, guys. They weren't expecting it. I don't know why you wouldn't be expecting it. You didn't extend him. What did you want him to do, or what did you want the coaching staff to do? If you wanted him back, you should have extended him. Y'all heard? That's a bar. If you wanted him back, you should have extended him. You shouldn't have played games. You out here playing games. Now you out here by yourself. That's what you get. That's what you get. So while you're out here, you might as well get the best person for the job, and you might as well overpay. You might as well pay the person a bag. You might as well not even play around with it no more. Don't even play around with it no more. You played enough games. You played enough games. It bit you in the ass. And now, you know what I'm saying, the chickens have come home to roost. Stop playing games. You know what I'm saying? They keep playing games out here. Playing games with players' contracts, playing games with coaches' contracts, playing games, just out here playing games. The front office out here playing games. Stop playing games, bruh. Nobody playing but you. I think didn't Craig say that to Smokey? Ain't nobody playing but you. You think he playing about his money? Tell me one person that play like that. James Ruff, yeah, he need to let them GM duties go, bro. Absolutely right. Uh, Reven says Moore would be a puppet. Jerry wants puppets. I'm almost to the point where if I'm Kellen Moore, right, you got leverage too. Kellen, you got leverage too, my guy. You can stay in Philly. You don't have to come to Dallas. Bro, I'll be looking out for people. Maybe I shouldn't look out for Kellen, but I'm going to look out for you for the interest of my own team. Bro, you don't have to come to Dallas. You don't have to get that microscope on you, bro. You can stay where you are. Saquon probably will resign. You know, you got a good GM in Howie. Howie going to get you weapons. Howie going to make sure that you nice and fed over there. Now, Nick Sirianni might be crazy, but obviously y'all making that work. Bro, you can stay over there in Philly as an offensive coordinator. You can be out the cameras. You don't got to be dancing in the videos. You ain't got to be in the background. You can keep doing what you're doing, brother. You don't got to come to Dallas and deal with the BS that you're going to have to deal with, bro. Because I can promise you, if you are named the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, you will come in and be the most hated coach in Cowboys history. And we had Campo for 3, 5, and 11 seasons in a row. But Kellen, I promise you, if you are hired in Dallas, you're going to get booed. You're going to get booed from the very beginning. The only way that you won't get booed is if you bring this place a Super Bowl. But the fans, and for the first time in probably history, the fans will not make it easy on the coach or the organization. If Kellen is hired, it's gonna be bonkers. It's gonna be ugly, bro. It's going to be ugly. Y'all thought this election was ugly. If y'all thought this election was ugly, let Kellen be announced as the head coach and watch what happens. League Commander said, "Can my Commanders pull off the upset tonight?" Yeah, they can. I think they can. I think they got. I think they got a shot. I'm not just looking around because I'm lying to you, but I think if the game is close, if y'all can somehow, because y'all can score points. So if the game is close and Jaden got that ball at the end, Youngin is clutch. I can't deny it. So y'all got a shot. But as long as y'all don't get blown out early, if y'all getting blown out early, y'all ass is in trouble. So y'all got to keep it close. If y'all keep it close, y'all will be all right. But if y'all go down like 14-0, y'all ain't coming back. It ain't gonna happen. I don't see it happening. Dave Thompson said after Mike's first season here, he said one of the biggest priorities was to fix the penalty issues. Never happened. I was done with Mike after Green Bay fiasco. You're right. Every head coach here has had penalty issues. So I don't know if that's a league thing. I don't know if that's because the players don't have to be accountable to the coach. I don't know if that's a culture thing, but all of the coaches dealt with penalties. Hell, even Bill Parcells at a certain point dealt with penalties. Because I know at one point we had the number one defense, and we kept getting pass interference penalties. Kept getting them. Bum ass Mario Edwards. If you're a Cowboys historian, you'll know who Mario Edwards is, and it's not gonna be because of good things. But Wade dealt with penalties. Jason Garrett dealt with penalties. Mike dealt with penalties. I don't know. I don't know why that is a thing, but I think that's more of a Cowboy thing. Dwayne Brown. Oh, good comment. Jerry is first looking for a staff before he's looking for a coach. Once he get that, it might be Kellen or Jason as coach. That's always been the mistake. They always look to fill the staff before coach. And with that, you can't guarantee any chemistry. You can't guarantee any cohesion when you do that. And with that, you cut the nuts from under your coach because, hey, you ain't hired me. Jerry hired me. You also create office snitches that way too. So just keep that in mind as well, guys. You don't build a good culture when you hire people before you hire the head person, especially when it comes to football and stuff like that. Like The head coach should decide whether or not that person stays, and that person should interview for their job. That's just how it should go. Doesn't go that way in Dallas, and like I said, cultural things. So why would you expect players to play by the rules if if the organization doesn't play by the standard rules? Big Sar says ultimately we know that Jerry is going to do what all narcissists do and whatever he likes as it relates to the next head coach. Yeah, I hope he does the narcissistic thing and hires Prime though. That would be really, yeah. Keep it up. Nah, man. We don't. Maybe we should tell Jerry we don't want Prime. Maybe we should tell him that. But I don't want to do that. Nah, I'm gonna make it known. That way, when things don't happen the way that they're supposed to happen, it'll be documented of what I wanted. Tyrone said Mike wasn't supposed to be head coach this year. It was supposed to be Quinn. That's why um, he wasn't re-signed. Yeah, yeah. Okay, now I understand what you're saying. I understand. You're saying that when Mike left, like Quinn was supposed to stay here, and this would have been Quinn's team. I think so too, and I think Quinn probably looked at how things were handled too. And you got to remember, Quinn saw all of the blueprints. Quinn saw that this was going to be a soft rebuild. He saw that they weren't going to really go in like that before he even took the Washington job. I don't know if y'all remember, but during the draft process, he came in a couple of days. And then he decided that he was leaving. I think that maybe it was one of them bowl games or something like that. I think that he came in as they were scouting, and there was pictures of him with the coaching staff, and yeah, then Quinn, took that job, and rightfully so. And look, he's still playing, and we not. He's still playing, and we not. So, Dan did what was best for him, and I told y'all when I met with Brian Robinson, when I talked to him in the offseason, he told me that the culture changed and the guys really loved him over there. So I knew that they were going to win at least 10 games. Did I think that they would be second in the division and still playing today? No, I didn't think that. But, a new coach can change things. A new coach, spending some money, and drafting the right guys in the offseason. Washington had a hell of an offseason. And guess what? They have room to improve a lot more. They have room to improve a lot more. Dave Thompson said, I'm hoping for a Joe Brady interview. Yeah, I've heard good things about Joe Brady, so I'm okay with it. Like I said, long as they interview the best guys and take the best candidate, take the person with the best ideas that fits with what they want and what the players want. Long as they take the best candidate, I'm okay. If Kellen happens to be the best candidate, which I know he's not going to be, but if Kellen happens to be the best candidate, has the best plan in place and all of that, then I'm okay with it. Because then they'll have to live with it. Because you would have interviewed all the best candidates and then it's Kellen. And you chose Kellen. So, again, it will fall back on them. But as long as they're doing their due diligence, I can't ask for more. Oh, I can't ask for more. I can ask you to hire the best person. So, yeah, man. Damn. Game Time Brian just put out a video that Kellen is the odds-on favorite to be the head coach. Man, that's tough, bro. That's tough. But we're going to pray. Hopefully Detroit puts together another good performance and it raises the stock of Aaron Glenn. Hopefully they put together league commander, I hope y'all lay an egg today, and I hope that Aaron Glenn shuts y'all out so that it puts the eyes on him as one of our top candidates as a head coach. I really hope that happens, guys. But y'all, I'm getting ready to get up out of here, man. I appreciate y'all for keeping me company as I wait in the car. Go ahead and check out, if you haven't checked out, I did a video. I unleashed it yesterday. Travion Henderson, the running back from Ohio State. I think that you guys will really like his tape. He offers a lot of what we like in Dallas for our running backs: pass protection, physicality, and speed. Very, very fast. So go check that out. I dropped that yesterday. It The views on that is going like hotcakes. I think it was already at like 3K when I woke up this morning. So go check that out. That's definitely a gem. I did an Ashton Genty one and an Omari Hampton one as well. I'm going deep into the running back position this draft cycle. I think that I'm going to do only running back. So there might be a lot of running back videos. That way we leave no stone unturned when it comes to getting our running game going again. And appreciate you, Dwayne Brown, for watching. And if you liked it, make sure you share it. Also, make sure you tell your friends about it, man. All right, y'all. We out. Peace.